Hello everyone and welcome to our Alumni Talks webinar that will give you first-hand information on the importance of MBA Network in VAO Executive Academy. My name is Mila and I am the moderator of this webinar on behalf of Unimi. Please welcome our panelists, VAO's alumni Adrian Pocola and Peter Wilfinger, that will be sharing their experience after graduating from their MBA degrees. On behalf of VAO Executive Academy, our panelists are Viola Kospach, Community Engagement Manager, and Anna Patterson, Marketing Manager. They will be telling us about the educational journey and the real value of the MBA network. You will be able to send your questions throughout the entire webinar by typing them in the Q&A box, and our panelists will take the time to give you an answer during the Q&A session in the second half of this event. Okay, let's check the sound now. Could you please write in the chat box if you can hear me? Great, thank you. So we can start with the presentation now.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for that great introduction from our partner at Unimi. My name is Anna, and I'm really happy that you all are welcoming us with your time today. Greetings from Vienna, and I hope you're doing well. So to kick it off, we've heard who's here with us today, namely two alumni, but you probably don't know which programs they did and the real benefits they perceived from their network. You'll be hearing about that in just a second, but let me introduce the programs that they did and also the network that they are part of. So Adrian Pocola, he was joining our professional MBA. This is an MBA with specializations, and he did the project management specialization. And Peter, he was a member of our global executive MBA. So that, you know, this is real students with real inputs, and we're happy to hear their case study on the real value of the MBA network. So I'd like to kick it off, though, with what is our network exactly? And the network is made up of alumni and students. And on average, these students and alumni have 10 years of management experience because they have been working for an average of 17 years. In total, we have around 50% international alumni, so coming from all different countries outside of Europe, but also in Europe, from North America to South America, Asia, and of course, some from Africa. In total, we're around 4,500 executives in middle and top management positions, so quite a strong network. Of course, this is our opinion, but the facts here are going to be shared in just a bit from Adrian and Peter. How to join this network? Well, the first step, of course, is to do an MBA program. We have several options here at the VAO Executive Academy. Peter's program was the Global Executive MBA. This is a 16-month part-time program that really gives you a bird's eye view of management. So you're not delving into specific areas, but you're really getting an overview. And it's based in Vienna, yes, but you are going on 3 different residencies worldwide, of course, when travel allows. But the class size is usually around 35 to 45 students. And we have another executive MBA program based in Bucharest. It's also 16 months and also has a global leadership perspective. The professional MBA is unique in the fact that it's allowing you to specialize in a certain leadership function, like becoming a marketing chief or a chief operating officer or a financial expert. If you're looking to specialize, we have a lot of options here. Now, to move into details, we have the Global Executive MBA, and this is a pretty cool program. Here's a slide with a few overview on some top facts. Now, we have 72% international students. What does this mean? It just means that you're going to be exchanging ideas with a lot of people from outside your nationality. And perhaps actually I can throw in a question here already to Peter. Do you remember, just rough hand, a few of the countries where your colleagues were coming from?
Yes, hi everybody, good evening from my side. Thanks, Anna. Yes, I remember we had a lot of people from Germany, from Switzerland, from Australia, of course, from Austria, from Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, USA, and I think one guy from UK, as far as I remember. So it was
Wow,
really
okay.
very international.
It was a big international group, yeah. And thank you for the quick inputs there. This program is quite unique because our students are able at the end of the program to earn 2 degrees. We have a partner university from the University of Minnesota. So our students coming from all these countries gain an American degree, but also an Austrian MBA degree. And finally, the program is topped off with a management project that they're doing virtually with students, executive MBA students from China and the United States. So this is kind of their practical thesis project. So that wraps it up for the Global Executive MBA. Now moving on to the Professional MBA. This program has 6 specializations in English. We've been running this program actually for over 10 years, and the specializations have been added as we see that the market demand has increased. We have specializations in digital transformation and data science, energy management, entrepreneurship and innovation, finance, marketing and sales, and project management, where tonight we actually have an alumnus from this program. And maybe Adrian, you could actually share with me a little bit about your colleagues in the group. Do you perhaps know, was it also a quite diverse classroom in terms of management expertise?
Oh, hello from Romania this time. It was quite hard. We were from 32 different countries, including, let me put on only the exotic ones. We had Nigeria, Mexico, China, and plus I think that we had everybody in Europe, like France, UK, Bulgaria, Romania, Austria, Hungary, of course, Slovakia, Poland. So we had everybody from Europe, but we had also some colleagues from US, and again the exotic countries like Mexico, Nigeria, Brazil, and China.
Okay, so you mean you were probably getting a lot of cultural insights on different management expertise, I would suggest.
Yeah, the most important thing in the professional MBA is that being specialized, the VAO team does a great job to put a big diversity in the teams that do all the, let's say, pre and after homework, even if they are not, let's say, homework, but there are a lot of projects that you do during the modules, and then you have pre and after modules, and then because it's quite a diverse group, you're going to meet a lot of changes in the group, and then you'll have a lot of cultural fights, let's say, like this. But it was really interesting, so you can learn a lot of things.
So some discussions on a cultural level. Ooh, that's neat. Yeah, great. So a little quite quick inputs here from the network of the professional MBA group, and this is a unique program. But again, the networking happens not only in one MBA program, but a little bit outside, which we'll get to that in a second. And
I think that it was one more thing that you didn't, that it's relevant for this discussion, is that Peter and I finished, I think, 6 or 7 years apart. So we didn't, that we didn't start in the same year or finish in the same year. So we didn't meet on the university always. We just meet outside the university or in different meetings.
Yes, I finished my MBA 2007, which is a couple of years earlier than Adrian, yeah?
Exactly, that was a good point to mention, yeah, because you guys are, let's say, a little bit of a distance is in between when you started and ended, respectively. So it makes sense to mention this for sure. And but before we dive deep into the network as a whole and who's a part of it, this slide is just an overview of perhaps it could be interesting for some listeners on where the students study abroad. So we take our students on 1 or 3 trips depending on the program, and from India to the US, they're based in Romania to trips to Hong Kong. And yeah, and this brings you to the globalization happening on the ground, or to the new trends growing up in the Silicon Valley, so that you can come back inspired and bring these inputs into your home business. That's the idea of it. And I wanted to ask Viola, actually, where exactly do our alumni meet up?
Hi, and good evening, everybody, as well from me. I'm very pleased to introduce the VAO Executive Club, where all these people meet. So this is the alumni community of all our students and alumni. It's the community, it's a strong network of like-minded peers that have similar interests and similar values. And it's a hand-picked international group of executives, and each one is very hungry for the next step and is ready to learn. So this makes this group very unique and special. And you might ask yourself how we can keep this international and global group together. Well, to meet all these different interests, and we split our services into the 3 C's. So this is career, content, and community. And to support our students' career, we accompany them on their path, and we organize career talks, offering direct access to our executive search and HR partners. We offer workshops so that each member finds his personal brand and passion, because we think this is very important, or is the key for the successful and strong network. And we give them the possibility to professionalize their LinkedIn profiles and to get deeper knowledge on job search, virtual job search tools, and so on. So there's a lot that we do for the careers, but also on the content side, workshops with panel discussions on current topics. We invite guest speakers. We have the international residencies where people can take part with our partner universities, and company visits to get to know other markets, international markets, and also company visits within Austria to get insights into the companies and how they work and how they do it. So always learning from each other and from other companies. And yeah, how you can meet this community. This is, especially in these difficult times, we have a virtual exclusive platform, VAO Connect. It's a great platform that can be used as an icebreaker, I would say. So it's easy to connect with other peers worldwide, no matter where they are or what you need from them. So, for example, if you're searching for somebody in another company or in another industry or another country, it's easy to connect with the people for future business, for example. We will hear more about that from Adrian and Peter later. But also not only virtual, also live events, of course, social events like the VAO Ball at the Vienna Hofburg, a traditional dancing ball, and social events like this are also organized, and always a nice frame to meet people and to get to know other people. Speed dating opportunities guided by a coach, for example, which is speed dating on your career, and to get to know the people a step further, not only knowing about company and name. So it's good to know a bit more. And yeah, we have these events not only in Vienna, but also in our hubs worldwide. So the hubs are our bigger communities, where we have bigger communities of alumni. So as you can see, we have current hubs with regular meetings and local events in the Adriatic region, in Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Romania, in Russia, Slovakia, and Switzerland, and others to be launched. And And in these bigger hubs or communities are the hub managers that are contact. So if you, for example, if people need support in their regions, these people are very helpful and well connected to support our community. And also the former class presidents and vice presidents of each class, of each MBA class, they become the ambassadors, and this is a very active network of 120 alumni who are also our communication arms into the community and support and are contact people for anybody who needs support. On this platform, you also have like special interest group, different groups when you search for special topics. And for example, the Female Leaders Network, which is a very active network of 1,400 females worldwide supporting each other with careers and different topics. The entrepreneurs, for example, and the startup scene, data science, or a special group making it in Austria. This is especially interesting for our international participants or students that want to come to Austria and want to stay here. So I guess this is about the community and worldwide, and to get more insights, how to connect and how to meet these people. We hear from Adrian and Peter, and I would like to invite you to take over to tell us your success story, how you did it and how you found each other.
Yeah, I think that I will start first because we'll have some more insights from Peter later on. So the most important thing when you are in an MBA program, at least for me, one of the keys points when I was taking the decision to take an MBA is the networking part. And that means that if you do it right, it's going to help you like it helps us. And I think that one of the examples that makes sense is today in our discussion. It will help you in the future. It depends on let's say what type of I don't want to say people, but what type of engagement you want to have with your colleagues. But nevertheless, during an MBA program, you'll be invited to have a discussion with a lot of colleagues from different cultures. So that means that you'll be more active than in your past. And now, let's say, going back to our cases, I think that that's relevant for today. Together with Peter, I was seeing him, I think, the first time on discussion during the MBA in one of the nights. And then afterwards, we connected together, like in this picture. We connected into one of the Christmas events. Actually, it was a Christmas charity event from VAO that still takes place every year end, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And for the charity event, usually it's not only for, let's say, Austria region. It goes, I think that when this picture was taken, all the charity was going to a different society, different ONG in Romania. And
Yes.
Then we had another one in Austria, and then we had another one in Bulgaria. So it goes to different countries. So it goes back to the people that are still involved in the program, let's say like this. And I think that's also one of the key points that could help you in take a decision when you do an MBA. And then I think that we can get back to the discussion about the case. So we just met on the event, and this is a new platform. This was not, let's say, online what we met, but now it's get easier and easier for all our colleagues. So if you're interested in some let's say country or direction or industry to have an opinion, you can go online on the VAO Connect platform, and then you can search on different countries or groups or industry, let's say like this, or for different mentors, and then we can ask a question. That's getting easier and easier for everybody to get all the knowledge or all the information what they need about something. So for example, if you are in the, let's say, pharma industry, and then you want to know how things are going in another country, you just go here, search for a colleague of yours that maybe you can find it in the same company but in a different country, and you just connect with him, send him a message, and then everything gets easier and easier for you to connect. This is one of the, let's say, the key points that now make sense with this situation that we are in. I don't want to say it's a pandemic. I just want to say it's a situation. Let's say like this. And then I think that I'll get the word to Peter, because
thank you.
Easier for
thank
him.
you very much, Adrian. First of all, just to pick your point up and to mention, say it very directly, we know that networking is, in the 21st century, one of the most important topics or tasks, not only from leaders, but for almost everybody who wants to achieve some professional goals. And with our network, and Adrian and myself, we are also both part of the International Alumni Board. So this alumni club, with its 4,500 members, gives us big opportunities in connecting to each other, and not only connecting for professional reasons, but also finding friends for life. So that's what happens during almost each classes, that within the class you get friendships and connections which will last for the rest of your life. And also, if you're not in the same class like Adrian and me, we have 7 or 6 years in between, but still we are connected, and still we are more than just professional working together. We can say we became friends during this time. And so this is something which is also very important to mention. And it was in 2017 when I joined Cardex. Just a few words: Cardex Remstar, or the Cardex Group, is a Swiss stock exchange listed company specialized in intralogistic solutions. So it's an engineering, a construction, a machine building company with headquarters in Zurich, and almost 2,000 people around the world, and 500 million revenue. And I started in July 2017 as a managing director for Austria. And in autumn of the same year, I was asked by my boss if I'm interested in establishing an own business entity in Romania. I thought a few days about this, and I decided to say yes. And so we started from scratch to build up a new entity. We had a lot of challenges to face, like new regulations, like finding an office, like hiring employees, like connecting with local stakeholders, and like the launch of the business locally. And I have to say that the Romanian bureaucracy is almost as good as the Austrian bureaucracy. And first thing I was doing I think it was the Christmas celebration in 2017, where the picture was taken, I contacted Adrian, and we talked about the situation. We want to find an office. We want to establish a company. We need to go to the notarian office to sign everything. We need a tax number. We need a tax advisor. We need a lawyer. We need whatever you need to build up a business. So it's a long list of to-dos. And Adrian was really a big supporter and a big help in all of these areas. He connected us with the right people. He organized meetings with the real estate company. He helped us with some translations in Romanian language, also with the authorization and the regulations, and what document you need, where and when. So this has to be prepared properly if you want to open a business in Romania, especially as a foreigner. And in the meanwhile, we have to say that this business is established. We're doing quite good job in Romania. We have 5 employees already there in our office in Timișoara. We have technicians there. We have a good customer base there. We have also good revenues, good earnings. And the big help, as I mentioned, was the connections with the authorities, the legal business structure, the healthy and safety regulations, which are very tough in Romania. Can you get one step back, please? Thank you. One ahead. So stop. Here we are, right? Yeah. Also, we got the employees, as I mentioned. What was also really, really good was the media awareness. So we had a great opening ceremony where a contact of Adrian, a PR agency, was organizing with the deputy mayor of Timișoara, and the Romanian television was there. And we were interviewed, and we get really a lot of, reports in newspapers, in the television, so really good advertising. And the office is great. We are still in this office. Yeah, we probably will have to expand the office from the square meter side. We found a lot of good customers, and still we are in contact with Adrian to support each other if we need a contact, for example, to a specific company. And if Adrian does not know somebody in this company, which is not happening very often, yeah, but if not, he knows somebody who knows somebody. So this is the real value also of the network, is use your connections you have and use the connection also of others. And we can very simply say, if we would have not had Adrian as a supporter and as our, so to say, local guide in Romania, the establishing of the business would have been much more difficult than it was at the end of the day.
Another important thing that I think that it's mentioned is that this is just an example, because probably like me, Peter works not every day but every second day with another alumni of ours. So I work on daily business with another at least 6 to 10 colleagues every week. We speak and we do not. It's not just business. We also go for beers and everything. So, and change of experience and change of knowledge. So it's the real, let's say, value of the networking can benefit you in the real life. It's not just business. Business, of course, now I think it makes sense. And again, taking consideration that when you put some money into the MBA, you're always thinking about going further in the company or going further in another company or knowing the right people, but also it makes sense for real life in order to change experiences and change, let's say, words, and change, or just have a beer with somebody that you speak the same language, and the same language meaning you have the same values day by day.
And I want to add just two sentences. If you ask yourself now, okay, what is the real value of the VAO Connect? I can find everything else on LinkedIn or wherever. Yes, generally that is true. But the big difference is that if you write somebody on LinkedIn, most probably this person gets tons of emails and tons of in-mails. And if you write somebody out of our VAO Connect app or from the website, there is a direct connection because you have directly something to talk about, yeah, because this is the sense of an alumni network or alumnus network, which is in our area, in our region of Europe, not so common, so to say. If you compare it with the networks of Harvard and the other American universities, they are using this much stronger than we do, but we are on a good way. And with the VAO Connect platform, you can really find the right people in the right place for the right decisions or help you need. So my at least suggestion is, really to use this network and to get in touch. If you need something, I also researched in the pharmaceutical industry. I found a very good contact to a company in Hungary, and yeah, it's really helping ourselves or yourselves a little better than with LinkedIn.
Definitely, and you can definitely get a sense that the alumni are willing to connect. I think this is even a feature that you can mark in the VAO Connect platform, whether or not your resources allow to mentor someone or to just give business advice. I mean, do either of you have special settings set in the platform, or are you just basically open to sharing ideas to anyone who connects with you?
The question was to whom? To me?
Peter, yeah, we'll start
Yes.
with you.
Yeah, well, I connect generally with everybody because connections are always good. But I get in LinkedIn, I don't know how it is with you, Adrian, but I get tons of in-mails, tons of advertising mails via people who are using Sales Navigator who want to sell something to me, yeah, some consultancy or whatever. But this is not the way to get in touch with an alumni. The way to get in touch with an alumni over the VAO Executive or the VAO Connect platform is much easier because you don't need to sell, because if you need something, you will be helped, you know, because there is a personal connection. We have the same degree, the same university. It's like a classmate, even though the class 2018 is 11 years after the class 2007. So there is still a connection and there is still a chance to get much easier in contact and which you can use for your personal 3Cs, yeah, for your career, for your communication, for your whatever you want to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a question actually for Viola. Do you notice a difference perhaps in the demand for the services in terms of content or career services or community as far as the age of the alumnus? Are the younger ones more interested in a certain service more than the older generations?
Well, it's a good question because that's when we see people, for example, the moment you decide to make an MBA, I guess is also at least a third of the reason for deciding for an MBA is also like enlarging network, changing industry, maybe changing job and company. So therefore people really are more or less interested in the career services, of course. And then after, I would say 2-3 years after the MBA, they become calmer. If they have already many of the students or alumni then change jobs and come to a new situation, and then after some years they again appear on our events and they again become more active, and because they again want to search, want to get to know other people, want to activate the network again, and they use it much more when, for example, when searching for partners in foreign markets, for example, or for even searching for new opportunities or job opportunities. And maybe also I mean, it's always easier on the live events, I would say, but of course for many of the international participants, it's not so easy always to come to Vienna. But also at the reunions, the organizing, we have some of the programs that are very active in really meeting at least once a year or twice a year, on a very regular basis, and exchanging, supporting each other on career, with the jobs and stuff like that, and ideas and exchanging knowledge. So this is, of course, it's depending on the the stadium of your life or where you want to go. It depends on how you attend or use the network, and
and how you get involved.
Yeah, that's it. The development.
I see. Okay. And I mean, Adrian, was it a big change after you finished your MBA for you? Were you looking to make a big professional change, or were you able to stay in the same company and grow there? How did that play out for you?
I'm in a different situation because I just moved from the, let's say, enterprise company to be my own boss 1 year before I started the MBA. The MBA was a decision for me in order to have a bigger network, in order to connect with other people, and in order to, let's say, have new ideas and have a different perspective about the business. Before that, I was the operational manager of a company that was around 500 people in 6 different locations. And then I just said, stop, I need to do my own thing. And when I started MBA, I was me with me and me again, and with a car and with an office in Starbucks. And now we are 5 different companies, 27 people in 3 different industries. And the industries are quite diverse, so meaning IT, pharma, and education. So let's say nothing somehow related. But on the other hand, let's say like this, the MBA, it makes it different for you to see things, makes it different for you to take opportunities. Some people say that I'm different because of the MBA, because now I'm taking more risks, and probably in the past I didn't took it that easy. But on the other hand, for me it makes sense because I can analyze everything from, let's say, a little bit upstairs, so I can see different perspective of the business and different industries, and then also connecting with different colleagues from different industries makes it easier to take a decision to go in that part of the, I'm always telling that part of the world, but in going that part of the, let's say, business. So yeah, MBA makes a difference for you because you can see all the perspectives: the sales, the marketing, the operational, the revenue. You can calculate, you can do your math on in 5 minutes and see if it makes sense from a business or from a financial perspective. So for
you
me,
can
it was
crunch the numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, it was a big plus. And I can do that quite easy. So in every business that I'm going or discussing about going in, I can take a decision in less than 20 minutes.
That's true. I fully agree with that, what Adrian says. For me, it was a career boost, not directly after the MBA, but during the last years, it was absolutely a career boost. And I have to say that I had a lot of discussions with different headhunting companies and these personal development companies, and each of them were asking if you have an MBA or not. And the main question was, what MBA, what kind of MBA do you have, from which university? And all the time when you mentioned VAO Executive Academy and the Global Executive Program, the feedback was very positive. So not every MBA can secure your career. So you have to select a good MBA with a good reputation, and really something which is not so easy to get, because you have to invest a lot of time and efforts, and you also to get into some risks, with your partnership, for example. And at the end of the day, the real value of the MBA is not only the career, it's also this getting friendships, getting the network, knowing whom to ask what at what time. This is something which I can, after almost 15 years now, still say this has not changed within these 15 years. It's not getting less. It stays continuously, and it grows as our network grows also.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned a good point. It's a big outcome, but with some investment of time. And I mean, how much time really did you need to do the MBA? I know maybe it was a while back, but do you remember, Peter, roughly like how much?
You want the honest answer or?
I would like. I think our listeners would be interested in an answer.
The honest answer is at that time when I started, my former wife gets pregnant. We moved to another home, so I got everything on once, but on a regular circumstances, you have to invest time because you have one module per month, 4 days. You got a pre-module and a post-module, and these are challenging homeworks. So this is not something you can do in half an hour. Yeah, you have to read books with 700, 600, 500 pages between each module. Yeah, so. I would say minimum each day, instead of laying down in front of the television in the evening, was 2 to 4 hours.
Of real content, yeah.
Every day. So if you want to learn something, if you want to take something with you from the MBA, you have to learn. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. You are investing a lot of money, and if you're not getting some value out of this investment, you are on the wrong place anyhow. Yeah, so
true. I mean,
the investment is also your time. It's not only the money, because then you learn something and then you go out of the school with your MBA and you really know more than you have known before.
Adrian, would you also concur? Was this a similar amount of time for you? Did you do it in the evenings or more concentrated on your weekends?
I want to say I've done it. My strategy from when I started the BA was a strategy of that is not applicable to everybody, and it's still that. It's the strategy of all in. I think that I had an average of, like Peter said, 2 hours per day, but taking an average, that means days with 4-6 hours and then days with just doing business, probably not sleeping or taking a nap in front of the TV. But I think that the most, let's say, relevant thing for the MBA, for my time in the MBA, because it was a period of growing from all the perspectives like business, personal life, and MBA, was in one of my trips that I was doing by car from Timișoara to Vienna, and that means now it's 4.5. On that part of the time was 6 hours. I was driving with now it's a common thing on the car. It's that it keeps the distance between you and the car in front of you. And then I was with my laptop on the steering wheel and I was doing homework that I needed to send a certain time, a certain hour. So
don't want to hear that.
Don't do that.
No.
Yeah,
so it's a lot of intense preparation time, and you need to be flexible but safe. We also heard in our discussion. Yeah. And as far as then the outputs that you got from the MBA, I mean, you were able to then use this in the company you founded. You grew it to have 5 standpoints, or did this happen much later? And with whom are you working with? I have so many questions.
So I'm working with different alumni in different business industries. Let's say maybe not like direct partners, but we are working together on different projects. And then, like I told you earlier, for me it made sense. For me, when I have to take a decision, a business decision, I can relate to the MBA, and then I can take the decision if I go that way or another, and everything takes 2 seconds.
Okay.
And then if it makes sense, usually, and you decided to go that way, that means that you had the experience until now, and you have all the knowledge in the MBA that, let's say, for me, and I think that for Peter also, 80% of the basis of business, we had it from previous experience, because when you go in MBA, you have an experience. You cannot go in MBA without having at least some small business experience, but everything makes sense and everything is linked together in the class and with the discussions, that then it gets easier for you in order to have everything in your head like you need to know. Plus all the let's say all the teachers that come with from different countries. I think that we had teachers from at least 14 different countries, or at least lecturers from 14 different countries, and that came also with the culture and with the different way of teaching or different way of learning that perspective of the business.
Cool, great, all right. Well, I think we gave a lot of insights now, and I wanted to hand it off back to Unimai for opening our question and answer session.
Hey again from Unimai, thank you so much for this presentation and sharing your experience with us. We have one question that I think Peter and Adrian could answer, and it is, with how many of your fellow students do you still keep in touch?
You mean from the class or generally?
You can share both your experiences.
Well, from the class, it's not so much. I would say it's eight people out of, I think we have been 30. 8 regular contacts, I would say. Generally, due to the fact that I was a long-time president and also in the IAB, I'm pretty sure that I have, I don't know, a lot of regular contacts. I cannot give you a number, but it's for sure it's a 3-digit number, I would say.
And just to explain,
sorry, there are more things to take in consideration when you ask that, because from the class, yeah, probably that number of 5 to 10 makes sense for everybody, but imagine that during the regular MBA you have meetings you have at least one meeting that you can go with 30 or 40 colleagues every month in Vienna. Plus we have regional meetings at least 2 times per year. So the last one that was in Romania was with 96 people, and we still speak on WhatsApp, and we have different groups, and we speak in different, let's say, different industries, and we still meet. So if we are a group of around 30 that still communicate quite often, and if somebody goes for a business trip in a different city, when we have other colleagues, we just write on WhatsApp, and then we go for a beer or for a coffee with that colleague. So just answering the question about how many colleagues are in contact from the class, it doesn't make sense, because we are in contact with all the alumni groups. So it's a bigger family, let's say this.
Thank you. Moving to the next question, Viola, I believe it's for you. Regarding the hub meetings that you mentioned, are they open for people who are looking for applying to VU?
Yes, sure. The easiest way, well, everybody's welcome to join. Sometimes it's a special interest. I mean, there are like different formats. It depends a bit on the format, I would say. But of course, if you are interested, write an email to me or to the hub managers, and then they will get in contact, and we can, it's no problem. And it makes sense to meet the alumni or students from the region, because it's first-hand information. They can tell you about the traveling, about their habits and how they do it. It's good to get first-hand information about programs, how everything works.
Great, thank you. So it's like a live Wikipedia that everyone can ask their questions to alumni. I think our next question again is to Viola. What are the networking events held by the school?
different formats again. Well, on a regular basis, when people come on campus, like once a month, we are organizing events within the programs and inviting alumni. There are, over the year, we have around 60 events in Vienna, really different format, panel discussions, social events, but also workshops on different career topics, webinars. At the moment, there are more webinars, of course, so we really hope that COVID will allow traveling soon again for everybody. That would make it much easier, but still the webinars are also, of course, for the whole community and easier to access from everywhere. But it's at least twice a month there's something. Then the female leaders again additional have special events. Depending on topic and format. There's a lot. Always different things to. We have this platform, the VAO Connect, and all events can be viewed there. And so we always suggest to the people to look through and to see what's important for my personal interest, like selling yourself, pitching workshops, things like that. It's many different topics,
and also for the people who are not yet an alumni, who are interested in the programs itself, they also have the chance to look on the website www.executiveacademy.at, where you can find all the information sessions also online, and you can get in touch with the university in general if you have some questions regarding the content of the programs. You find the brochures and everything.
And some future events are also, of course, open for interested people. So, for example, September 3rd, we have the future researcher Franz Kühlmeier, who will talk to our community, and everybody is welcome to join there. All the information is on our website already.
Thank you. We have time for a couple more questions. I think Peter and Adrian are here. Could you share the main reason to choose the VAO Executive Academy?
I know, for me, it just made sense. So when I was looking on the MBAs that was in Romania at that point of time, from all the accreditation, all the colleagues and everything that means the community, VAO, it made sense. The only difference, let's say, the only different discussion that I was just intrigued, or that it took more time for me, was if I was doing it in Vienna or if I was doing it in Bucharest, in Romania. And for me, it makes sense to do it in Vienna because it was closer from the geographical perspective, but also I think that the opening to new, let's say, possibilities or to new connections and to the different culture, it's bigger in Vienna than in Bucharest.
And from my point of view, I had a master degree before I started the MBA program, but this is maybe a little bit special, but I always was dreaming when I was a teenager of graduation on an American university with this nice uniform and the hat, throwing the hat into the air. And I was searching for an MBA program in Europe, in Austria, ideally, where you also have the chance to get some travels and also study at other universities. And we spent a couple of days in Fudan University in Shanghai, and also in New York and in Minnesota. And we had this graduation, this typical American graduation, with our guest speaker was Steve Forbes. So it was really something which I will never forget in my whole life. And I decided for this program for that reason, but also the reason was that the VAO itself has a very good recommendation within the European countries when it comes to economics, leadership, and all this kind of things. So that was the reason why I decided for especially this program.
And I also think that the speakers, the main professors or speakers that we had in the class were, for at least from what I was speaking with other colleagues, were one of the key points that was taking the decision to VAO, because you have a lot of let's say big names into financial and strategy and ethics that are in the class, and that makes sense for the future.
That's true, Adrian, and I want to add one point, which was also important. It is not 4 days of theory. It's 1 hour of theory, and the rest is out of life. It's real business cases. It's real things out of the daily business, what we have to do. It's not a theoretical lecture you get. And this is also something very important.
Thank you. And to wrap up our event, maybe all of you can share your advice to people who are now looking for to making the decision to apply to VU.
I think that go for it. It's going to be the best experience of your life, and it's going to change for sure your life into a better position.
Absolutely, I fully agree to what Adrian said.
And I have to add that we have a great international community and a lot of people supporting each other. It's really like a big family, international family, and supporting each other, which makes it very sympathetic too.
Yeah, and I'd say if you're interested, then come and get more information, because it's a heck of an experience and you should be able to know what you're getting into. And just join, if you can, join a teaser class. We have these virtually. We have one taking place next week. So take the resources that are available while you're researching the MBA, so you can make the best decision for you. And of course, we hope it's with us at the Executive Academy.
Thank you all so much for taking the time to do this webinar with us. And thank you for all of you who attended it. To those whose questions were not answered, we will make sure they reach Anna and Viola, as most of them were on the admissions part. Of course, you can see their emails and you can contact them directly with your question regarding the process and the admissions criteria. Again, thank you to our wonderful panelists for this informative session. Thank you all for sharing this event with us. You will receive a link with the recording of the whole webinar so you can rewatch it. On behalf of the Unimi team, we wish you luck in your academic journey, and we hope to meet again soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.